for me, I think it was probably the most valuable course that I've ever purchased. It's a master's class in marketing. It's a full master's degree.
How long did it take you then from jumping into the next niche to have your success?
So my first script was a winner in weight loss.
Then what, as soon as you saw that, did you immediately scale up?
I did. Yeah, I scaled up, and my biggest day in that niche was about $7,500. That went up to 25,000, then 50,000, and like 80,000 in a month, like on ClickBank. So once you get things figured out, and that's when it becomes really exciting. Maybe you don't even consider yourself a marketer, and this is your first time into it. Like, this is the best place to get started, I would say.
How's it going?
Good. How you doing, Chris?
Doing well, doing well. I'm yeah, grateful that you could jump on here and share a bit of your story. So I'm looking forward to talking with you and getting to know you a bit better.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Awesome,
Yeah, I'm
sweet.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, I just wanted to, like, as I just mentioned in the thing, just wanted to hear a little bit about your story, about your journey, and just, yeah, showcase it to students about, you've had some, issues with ClickBank here and there. You've had some challenges you've overcome. So all of that's just like massive value to students to like inspire them. And of course, to share a bit about your success and everything as well.
Yeah, for sure. So I run an agency, so we do primarily search engine optimization, some paid ads for Google. And the first thing I'll say is that when I first saw it was introduced to your training, I was going to shut it off if you said we're running Facebook ads to whatever else, and I was like, okay, well, it's not Facebook. That was a bonus, like, to right from the get go. But when I saw, I mean, I know that YouTube is like just a massive, just untapped, just it's an ocean of there's an ocean of money available there. The traffic is super cheap. It's super high converting. So, but I never really quite knew how to tap into it. So when I saw your training, was introduced to it, like, I thought, I'm gonna do it. And I think it was Gary said in one of the videos, which stuck with me, like his one line, he said, just set aside the next 4 to 6 weeks and just absorb the stuff, dig into it, and allow yourself to get the psychology behind everything here, and just give this method the respect that it deserves. So that was really what kind of got me once I got inside the training. So from there, I went full retard on everything, and I did a lot of things wrong to start with. I didn't really follow the evolution method the right way, and that cost me time. It cost me money. But then I just got back to the basics, and just got back and just followed the step-by-step process, and that was really what really made the difference. But just getting into the psychology of the whole the way, and ultimately, I mean, just as a marketer, to anyone else who's a marketer in there, you're learning a brand new skill set that goes right in line with what you're already doing if you're at all involved in marketing online. So for me, it was just a win-win all
Yeah,
around.
and I think even if you're not a marketer as well, you're building like valuable skill sets that are going to serve you in your like tool belt for the rest of your life. Like, there's another guy that I'm going to jump on an interview with soon, and he didn't do the method that we taught, but he taught the scripts. He got the script software, the script AI tools, and like the foundations of like $1 million script formula. And he used that in his TikTok videos, and he's now got like a supplement company purely like from organic TikTok videos using our script formula. He's doing like 250K.
Fantastic.
He's doing 250K a
Fantastic.
month. So I think
What?
that,
No way.
yeah, with his own
Come on,
supplement
man.
company. So
Beast.
I think what you said
Exactly.
is super important. It's like, yeah, you're learning like a lifelong skill set, and if you give it the time and the attention that it deserves, like, you're going to be able to have like massive success. So little circling back there. So you said that you've obviously got you have an agency doing SEO, Google stuff. So you're obviously not new to the online space. So
Right.
what drew you into the Profit Singularity method? What you already discussed a little bit about your initial thoughts, but what, having online experience, what got you excited about the method?
Well, obviously in SEO, there's plenty of opportunity for affiliate. And to build something up to where, you finally, you got something ranking, and it's just by then sometimes the products are off, and you got to switch a lot of things up. So I did a little bit of affiliate with SEO stuff. But with this in particular, I really liked the immediate return on the work, on the investment. You spend $1, you get $2 back, or more, or about that. And then just the way ClickBank and probably other affiliate networks pay out, you get that back really quick. And it's just for me, that was just something that would be predictable, like more predictable stream of income coming in. And it was just like the whole package to me, I thought was brilliant. Like the way that it was things are marketed, and then just being able to pick and choose as many products as you want to get in there and start marketing. But it really, it forces you to examine yourself and just see what kind of discipline you have, and how focused you are, the amount of focus that you're able to give this. And everything about it was very, for me, was very attractive.
Yeah, and how did you find, touching on that focus and the discipline, how did you find starting this? Because you've obviously played around with, you've got online experience, Google SEO and stuff. Have you ever actually dealt with YouTube ads before?
I have, and previous to this, my YouTube ad experience was about $15 a click, and I thought I was doing all right compared to the industry that we were making videos for. That was about the cost per click. And then when I started seeing the training that you guys had, I was like, man, a dollar or so a click is just like, that was pretty mind blowing. And then just being able to warm your audience up before they click thought that was brilliant, man.
Yeah. So how did you find transitioning from like the previous stuff you've done on YouTube to then adapting this new model, learning the new copywriting skills, utilizing the tools? How did you find the process of, like, you've already had experience, right? But jumping into this new thing and like understanding the course, like how did you find everything?
Well, I mean, the mechanics of it was the same, right? You make a video, you upload it to YouTube, you run ads to it. That was the only thing that was at all beneficial. Like, I started from scratch. Like I literally, after I saw that, I was like, I don't know a dang thing about marketing on YouTube, like nothing. And then so that transition was, like I said, I might as well have been a brand, just complete noob to internet marketing at that point.
Mm. And did you find, so yeah, so you obviously understand like like you said, the mechanics of like, publishing a YouTube video, but obviously the in-depth stuff that actually matters, which is, the psychology behind an ad, how to create a winning ad, how to create a optimized funnel. How did you find learning all that from scratch?
Well, I again, man, I dove in and just allowed myself to just absorb the psychology behind it. And anytime you learn something new, that's a new skill that that there's gold on the other side of the hill. It's exciting. Like I was excited to learn that and to deploy it. And so I found it, like, for me, it was exciting. It was a lot. I had to go back and watch a lot of the videos over and over again. Because there were times when I would get stuck. But the answer was always in the training for like 99% of everything that I wanted to go back and relearn, or maybe something that I missed in the training. But I found it, I found it exciting. It was really, it was great, just
Yeah, I love
learning
to hear
that
that.
skill.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love to hear that. And you did say that when you jumped in, you did sort of just go, you just threw everything at the wall. You were like obviously so
Full
excited.
retard.
Yeah,
Full
just
retard.
just throwing everything everywhere.
Yeah.
So what when you first started, what did you do wrong? And then what do you wish you did do?
Well, there were two things that I did wrong. The first one was I would change just tiny little things about a video, and then I would change it, upload it, and then just run it. I wasn't tracking the changes in a spreadsheet. I was not doing the evolution method the way that it should have been should have been tracked. So I was not tracking a lot of my changes. So I'd go back through certain videos and be like, I did that change. I basically created the same video again and then again. So I lost track of the changes that I was making in the videos early on. And that was a big mistake. So I was not scientific about it to begin with. I was just excited to get things rolling and just start hammering videos out. And then the second thing that I probably did wrong was I chose the wrong niche. I was doing a tinnitus offer, and I made a little money on that, but there was just not the traffic. There was not, the conversions. They were tough. And probably the third thing that I did wrong was I stuck with that niche too long, because I was like, oh man, weight loss that's going to be super competitive, and diabetes and all these different offers are going to be super competitive. But I've got some practice in, and I'm going to go ahead and jump into those. So that was kind of, but those were probably the three things that I wish I would have done differently from the very beginning.
Yeah, so obviously take your time, make sure you're doing everything effectively, because again, yeah, if you're just digging a whole ton of holes and you're not sure like what the results are from all of them, that's where a lot of people get lost.
Yeah.
The second thing you said was
Niche.
the niche, and then you
Yeah.
said a third. Was it a third one, or was just those two?
The sticking in the wrong niche for too long. So just,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I was probably, Chris, 120, 130 videos deep in trying to
Yeah.
squeeze blood out of a rock, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
and
Well, so they all sort of link into the same thing, which is following the evolution method, making sure you have a structured, methodical, and analytical path ahead of you. Because the way when I came up with creating the evolution method, I was like, all right, well, I've been in affiliate space for a long time. I've had so many winning campaigns. I know the processes to find a winning campaign. So what I distilled that into the evolution method. So then that way, the metaphor I have for it is, success and your breakthroughs at top of the staircase. What are the steps that you need to take to get to that, right? And if you don't see the staircase in front of you, how are you going to get to that? How are you going to get to that success breakthrough? So that's exactly right. With the evolution method, you want to take the scientific method, and we distill it down a lot simpler than like it's, not all sciencey, but it's like,
yeah,
make sure you understand what you test the right things, so you're not wasting a bunch of time testing all this stuff that doesn't really matter, and then test it
100%.
efficiently, test it against each other, then go to the next phase, test it against each other. And as you said, if you're not doing that, you could be running around the staircase not even knowing the staircase is there.
It's true. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I mean, huge point for people that are especially new to the program is definitely follow that method. And I've heard other guys get on, and gals that have been on these calls, and they say the same thing. Like so if everyone who's been successful in this is saying that you follow that evolution method, and be scientific, in other words, just meaning like you're testing one variable at a time to know what the difference is going to be, to lower your cost per click, to increase your conversions. You test just that one variable at a time.
Yeah, and then we also, yeah, so it's like also having like testing and split testing it's all about, the whole purpose of it is to have the awareness of like what's happening. Because
Right.
if you only run, it's just like if you do an experiment, if you do one thing, there's nothing to compare it against. And so that's also, like you said, you tested a whole ton of videos for a niche that wasn't working for you. And that's why in the evolution method we discuss, at a certain point, test another niche. Because, for example, you made 160 videos or something for this one niche. If you did like, 30 videos for one niche, 30 videos for another niche, you would have then had the perspective and been like, all right, maybe, I know I've had success with tinnitus. I've had a lot of students' success with tinnitus. So that's why sometimes it's just about what clicks for you, So sometimes there's just like different things where it clicks for you, everything lines up perfectly. And so that's also a really good point, is make sure you don't, pigeonhole yourself into something that isn't working. And if it's not working, don't be afraid. Make sure you test it efficiently. If you just do what you said, you throw everything up and nothing's really working, and then you jump to another thing and you do the same thing, it's not going to be that beneficial. But if you follow the process and then test efficiently, that's going to where you're going to have your breakthrough. And so leading from that, so you made all these mistakes, then you're like, all right, I'm going to start with a fresh niche. I'm going to do things correctly. How long did it take you then from jumping into the next niche to have your success?
It was, I mean, almost, I mean, just everything that I had learned about, the psychology and what was kind of working in one niche. I took, so my first script was a winner in weight loss.
Yeah, wow.
Um, so I took that, and then there was obviously challenges, like sometimes YouTube doesn't like a video, sometimes Google will shut it down. So that was more of a constant thing. Like I never really ran into that in tinnitus, but in weight loss, you have to be a lot more careful. And I think some of their things that they flag is arbitrary. But and that's one more thing, Chris, that I would like to share with the audience too, is that you could easily spend 8 or 10 hours a day doing this stuff, but you don't have to. I think the recommendation is 2 hours a day. You do your testing, you let that roll out, $20-25, and then you roll out another set of videos and you test some other variables, being methodical about it, and then it'll pop. And I was thinking, like, when I got the training, it was time release, and I was like, well, shoot, that is not even going to work by the time I get all the way through the training. But the cost per clicks are the same, the traffic is the same, the conversions are still the same. There's no end in sight to this type of marketing for affiliate products. And I've seen the folks that have been in the program that have just done massive things, really quickly. So yeah, it's good.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, the concept of what we actually teach and like what the foundational element of what we do is literally the foundational element of like marketing. It's
Mm.
like marketing's not going to go anywhere. We're like
Mhm.
creating a psychologically optimized ad to target an audience and get them to a product page to buy a product. And that's the best thing about the business model is we don't have to deal with any of the back end stuff. Like the thing that we're focusing on is like the actual element of a business that makes money. And that's why there's so
Mm.
much money to be made in this
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah.
And so you touched on your first script. Actually, just a second there. So yeah, as you said, you can go bonkers with it. You can spend as much time as you want. You could spend as little time on it as you want, but it's always, we recommend like an hour or two a day because you just want to make sure you're taking those little action steps every day and
Mhm.
also having a plan. So if you like plan, your day ahead, you plan the next week, you're like, I'm going to create this many ads, I'm going to launch that, then I'm going to follow the evolution method. So obviously you had your full-time agency that you're running, and do you have a family as well, or?
Yeah. Yeah. I got 4 kids, and three of them are still here in the house. They're little. And so yeah, that's that, and again, this is goes into like what wanting a lifestyle business. Like, why do we do these things, right, Chris? I mean, we do it because we want time, and then we want time and money freedom. We want choices. And probably most of the people that hop in here, they're working a job or running some other kind of business. So, there's a good balance in there. And find that, get into that groove, and again, just dedicate yourself, for the next 6 to maybe 8 weeks to understanding the psychology. If you don't win, with your first set of videos, just keep on going. Anybody who is going to make it through the next 5 years online, you're obviously, AI is a huge part of that. But and we use AI, we use like the video generator, the vidbot, using AI voices. So it's going to be the people that are able to take the tools that AI has and yield them the right way in order to do the work for you. Dedicate yourself to learning that aspect of it as well. And it's a master's class in marketing. It's a full master's degree. Once you get it done and you've put the time into it, this is it's, for me, I think it was probably the most valuable course that I've ever purchased.
Well, that's awesome to hear. That I really
Yeah,
appreciate that. Yeah, as you said, like AI is going to be here to stay, and I think this is the most practical way to actually implement
there
AI.
you go.
Like a lot
Yep.
of people you hear on Instagram, on YouTube, trying to sell you stuff. They're like, how to make, this person made money, and it's like, buy my prompts or this sort of stuff. But
Mm.
there's very little actual people out there teaching an actual practical way on how to actually implement AI with a direct system to achieve like massive amounts of, daily, weekly, monthly profits. All the student successes that we've had, like even talking to yourself, I mean, this is why I do it, like, because I'm very passionate about marketing. Like I've always been passionate about marketing. And as you said, like, I mean, I feel like this course is even, probably 100,000 times better than the college marketing degree that I dropped out of, So,
Agreed. Agreed.
uh,
100%. It's
yeah.
true. It is true.
And so on that, so you said 4 kids, 3 of them still at the house.
Yeah.
You got a full-time, I assume full-time, but you run an agency. So how did you find managing all of that, all of the responsibilities you had, and also, plugging away, taking action with this? Did you find it very demanding, or did you find it quite laid back, go at your own pace?
I mean, the demand that I felt when you say demanding, it was just the demand that I put on myself to get it up and running as fast as possible. And that's when I realized like I need a better way than my style kind of started off as crazy style, and I thought, this is not sustainable. And that's when I got back into, okay, I'm just going to give it a couple hours a day, and I'm gonna do what is required. Just allow yourself to those just couple hours, and then whatever else you have going on, live the rest. Live your life. Don't neglect any other responsibilities, because again, this is it's kind of like a gold rush, where you want to get in there, and you want to keep on hammering away, but at some point, the noggin just kind of stops working, and you just work yourself into circles. So you get back to that evolution method, you look at your spreadsheet, you see what you tested already, and then you use this right here again to go and say, okay, I'm going to test something a little bit different today. I'm going to put an hour, 2 hours into it, and then I'm going to see the results tomorrow.
Yeah, and also another big thing I'd say is like have fun with it, because
Yeah.
if you're just like, smashing your head against the keyboard, you don't want, that's not going to like produce that good outcomes. And
True.
the method that we teach, I think, is perfect for literally anyone, because you could be very analytical, or you could be very creative, or you could be a mix of both. And
Mm-hmm.
whatever you fit under, there's elements that you will find enjoyability across the board with the method. So that's another thing that I think is really important. Yeah, is you don't have to spend so much time on it. Like, you want to come to it, have your tasks, set goals so that you're always taking action, and then just enjoy the process. And that's where you're going to get the most out of it, is when you're like actually properly understanding the method, when you're properly implementing it, not when you're working so hard that your brain's not working right. You
Yeah.
want to be able
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be in that sort of flow and just have fun with it. And from that, then, so you ran this niche, didn't really work, tested a ton of ads, sort of didn't follow the method to a T. You might have lost some time, and as you said, you might have lost some time. You might have had your breakthrough quicker, but all of those experiences led you to the point and gave you the insights. Like, a lot of people think if they fail, they fail, but one of the biggest quotes that I have in my head all the time is like, use failures as stepping stones to success. And that's exactly what you did, because you could have been demotivated, you could have given up, but you're like, hey, each failure I had is one more stepping stone. Like, I've got a
Yeah.
lot more data, I've got a lot more experience.
Correct.
And that then led you into launching your first weight loss ad and having, what was the success like when you launched that first ad?
So that one was, I mean, it was pretty immediate. I actually launched 3 ads, but one of them that I figured was probably going to be my winner, and it was. And that one was, it was dollar in, $2 out. And then, so I quickly scaled that, and then YouTube quickly, Google quickly shut it down. So I changed a few things up, and then relaunched it. And that ran for, a few days. It made a few $1,000 a day. And then YouTube was like, we don't like something else in here. So I would change a couple things up, and then I would go back, and which is a small price to pay, for, all in a day's work, right? I mean, you make a few $1,000 for an hour's worth of work at that point, then it is worth it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. The word, like, choose your heart, like the quote, choose your hard. It's like, just tweaking some videos here and there to make them a bit more compliant, to make, like two, three, $4,000 a day, which is
Yeah.
compared to dealing with, say, like a boss or someone else for 8 hours a day. So there is that element to it as well. But I definitely understand when you're in a niche like that, sometimes it can be easier than others. But either way, you got to deal with what you dealt with, and you got to work your way through it. And as you said, those were like little road bumps that you came into contact with, but it didn't demotivate you. It was just like, all right, cool. Having that positive mindset of being resourceful and just being like, all right, well, this is an opportunity for me to get better. It's not an
Yep.
opportunity for me to sit there and fail. It's an opportunity for me to get better and create a better ad and make more
Yep.
money, which is the outcome.
100%.
So,
Absolutely.
so yeah, you said that you started, so ran weight loss, that first ad, started doing like 100% ROI. Then what, as soon as you saw that, did you immediately scale up?
I did. Yeah, I scaled up and I think my biggest day in that niche was about $7,500 in sales, and it was about a $3,500 profit. So and I had several days like that. Um, so yeah, that was and that was in a product that was I think it was beat to death, the good old ice trick.
Mm.
So and I remember I started seeing like parody videos about the ice trick after a while, and so but I mean, there was so much money I think made with that particular offer. I guess it was ClickBank's like number one probably of all time.
Yeah, offers definitely do have their like life cycle. And it's not so much, some people think it's related to competition, but it's more so just, I don't know, like consumer behavior and stuff. And, you know, it's like once an offer runs its course, you just swap to another offer, which I think is the benefit of being an affiliate, because there's always new products that are just rising up the ranks and you could just
Yeah.
jump onto. So there is that element. And yeah, a big tip for some students out there is like, make sure you're not promoting an offer that's like, 3 years old or something,
You're right. Exactly.
make sure you choose one that's like top, like top 10 on ClickBank, and you're going to have that sort of, you're going to be rising with the tide, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why it's so beneficial, because it's like, what's the tide rises all boats.
Yeah.
It's like,
All the ships rise with the tide.
yeah, exactly. So if you're like
Yeah.
promoting this offer that's like on the highest tide, it's going to be, you're going to be making sales, you're going to be making money. But if that
Yeah.
tide's slowly going down, you still be making money, but like obviously you want to be getting one of those offers that are hot, which
Yeah.
led to your success. As you said, you swapped
Hmm.
offers to one that was a top performing offer, and you started
Yeah.
hitting. Yeah. So your highest day you
Yeah.
said was 3,000, around 3,300 in profit.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, yeah, that's about what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And were you doing
Yeah.
that consistently for like a couple of days, for a week, or how long were you
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of?
consistently for for probably a week. And in between there and after there it was like, minimum $1,000 days.
How would you compare? So how would you compare? You obviously run an agency, and I mean, a lot of people go into the agency route, might not have success. You obviously have. How would you compare running ads, scaling up, making, $3,000 a day profit compared to your agency work?
Kind of the difference here is that you do the work once and you get paid over and over and over again. On the agency side, it's like you do the work over and over and over and you get paid over and over and over. So that's kind of the big difference. I think with the method here, YouTube sending it to affiliate, you can manage it all by yourself. Like, you don't need a team, you don't have to check in with anybody. You can run it on your schedule. It's the actual skill set that comes along with it that is going to be, super valuable to really to anybody who's, maybe you don't even consider yourself a marketer and this is your first time into it. Like, this is the best place to get started, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've got some crazy student results, of people that have had no experience in hitting massive numbers, and I think that's obviously any not like, I think a lot of people also can get disillusioned by like these massive numbers, where like you don't have to aim, like some people want to aim for the huge numbers, some people don't. It's like you just need to think, all right, as you said before, Google is such a massive platform, there's so much money to be made on it, and we're just providing you, just like turning on the faucet, just turning on the tap to traffic. and just
Yep.
letting that convert and generate money. And you don't need a team to do that. Creating videos is quite simple. Creating scripts is quite simple.
It's awesome. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. It's such a good model, man. It's so good.
Yeah. So how did you find the process, like the creative process? How did you find, creating scripts? You mentioned some of the AI tools that we have. How did you find the whole process of implementing everything?
I thought, I mean, that it was fun and easy. Like the whole thing, like once the psychology was in here and I knew what it had to be in each video, like the 8 points, then it became, it's almost like, speaking and learning another language. So once you get that down and then you become fluent in that language, then you can start to be more creative with what you're working, because you're not so focused on the message. You already know what the message has to have in it. And I think that just makes a lot more room for getting creative with your, with the video, and then just the software. Like I'm still using VidBot. It's all you need to get going. It's all you need to make money. And it's easy. And like they've added some new features to VidBot that I think are great. So it's that product continues to evolve, and some of the things that I was hoping that would end up in there have ended up in there. So that process has been it was a journey, but it has turned into something a lot more fun.
Exactly. It's a creative process. It's fun and
Yeah.
it's also analytical because you get all the back end data. And as you said, you get immediate feedback. Like putting a video out, it's not like other businesses where you have to it's like you have to wait. Obviously, there's
Yeah.
patience and stuff, but it's like,
Yeah.
you put a
No,
video out.
the feedback loop is immediate. And that's another thing that I love about it. Like there's no super stretched out feedback loop. Like you get that data like immediately
Yeah, it's like,
and let the
launch an
voters
ad.
decide.
Yeah, launch an ad, check the data. Are the stats bad? All right, cool. You don't need to waste any money on that.
Yep.
Follow the evolution method, test another ad. If the stats are good, cool, awesome. It's like immediate. Once it starts spending, you get that data in. And then once you see that, ROI, like you said, you can scale it straight up. So I don't remember seeing your full ClickBank screenshot, but when you hit that winner, what did your graph look like? Can you walk us through that for some people to understand how far, like not only how fast the feedback loop is, but how fast you can scale when you hit that winner?
So yeah, it was I think I started in maybe October of 22 with with the hearing stuff. And October, November, December, you know, it looked like, $5,000, $6,000 in a month. And then as soon as I started hitting different offers, that went up to 25,000, then 50,000, and like 80,000 in a month, like on ClickBank. So the graph, there definitely is that hockey stick kind of graph once you get things figured out, and that's when it becomes really exciting, especially when you get that weekly payout, back from ClickBank.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And how did it feel? Obviously, once you like starting to make that money, like were you waking up to money and then refreshing your screen and scaling? Like, walk us through that because I think that's a very powerful thing to put people in the perspective of refreshing your page and just having money flow in, like checking your phone. It's like, oh, I just made another like $500. I just made another $1,000.
Yeah, no, that is exciting. As a matter of fact, I had ClickMagic has an app that you can have it send notifications to the phone. So I was like, I'm just going to set that up, but I don't want to be refreshing pages and logging in all the time.
Mm.
So it was just like I'd get a notification and just like notification, every time there was a sale. So that part was exciting. And then I even got, the kids got in on it. So they started to understand, like, Dad, make another sale. And I was like, yes, got another one, got another one. So once you hit that and you start rolling on that, that is exciting. And it's definitely, it's something that we share as a family to just to something to be thankful for every single sale. And yeah, it's a great journey. It's you get to actually, again, that really quick feedback loop. Once you get things tuned in and fired up, you're able to see like the fruits of that immediately, and that is exciting. It's what keeps you going. It's what keeps you interested, and really kind of keeps you engaged in the process, like on the day-to-day basis.
Yeah, exactly. And realizing that all the data you get is a pathway to finding that winner. It's just a
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things is having that why. There's more to just, wanting to do this method to make money, but there's like typically most people that have success have a deeper reason why they keep persisting.
I have in my mind, success. I believe success is my duty. It's my duty to my family. It's my duty to myself. It's my duty to the people who are going to benefit from the products and services and everything else that I offer. So that's the engine behind the work that I do is I approach it with this determination that comes from a duty that I have to my family, to my wife, to my kids, to coming up grandkids down the road. I've from my oldest daughter, I've got 3 grandkids. So we adopted her when she was 12. She's 30 now. So it's just a duty for me to succeed. So I don't see that there being another option. I only see like this is going to work. It's not about the money, but it's what the money provides, which is freedom and choices.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because money is just like an energy, and it's like, what can you use that energy towards? And that's why most people want to get money. People don't want just money so they can just have stacks of cash sitting in their room. They want to have money so they can provide for their family, so that you can have freedom to do what you want. And I think that, yeah, that's why I always want to touch on the why of people. And I really recommend everyone sort of dig deeper into your motivations of like, why do you want money? Like, figure that out, because once you have that motivation and that fire within you, that's what's going to be the fuel for you to push through self-doubt, to push through challenges, and to keep your vision strong. Because a lot of people can let that vision of what they want for themselves fade, and it's as you said, it's like your duty to keep that alive. And as you said, use these case studies, use these student success stories as like motivation, because once you see someone else do it, you should ask yourself, instead of saying, oh, that person did it because of XYZ, that person did it because of XYZ, I can't do it. Use it and say, like, why not me? Like, why can't I? If this person did it, that woman did it, that guy did it, he did it, she did it, why can't I?
That's the question, is like, why not me?
Yeah, why not me?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is there any other mindset, any other mindset that you want to share to anyone that you think's been valuable for you in, Profit Singularity, or even just your life in general?
So my advice would be to continue daily to feed yourself the right kind of information. Shut down the doom scrolling, get off the news, and then just read books every single day. Listen to podcasts that are filling you up and building you up and removing your anxiety and getting rid of those negative thoughts that come in and just tell you that you can't do something, that you can't be somebody. There's a million reasons why you can't do something. And if you let those voices in your head start persuading you, then you've lost. You're going to lose. So the battle, again, it goes back to the mind. And just to feed your brain and your mind those kinds of, the good thoughts. Just hold no room inside of your mind for anything that you don't want. You don't want failure. You don't want to end up broke. You don't want, poverty. You don't want, all those. Just leave no room in your mind for those things, and only leave room in your mind for the things that you do want, and just focus on those things. And again, like, there's podcasts, and there's the training calls, there's books, there's all kinds of things that I have used for myself over the years, just to keep my mind sharp and ready.
Yeah, I think that's so powerful. Like, if you take a holistic approach about it, like, you could come into thinking about this as like, I'm going to make heaps of money. And I mean, you definitely can, and you definitely probably will. But you want to think of this as like a total life transformation thing, like, become the version of yourself that is going to have success with this. And when you look at all the, we've had thousands of student results. We've had people that are making like millions of dollars a month, people that are making like 500K a week, people that are making just $1,000 a day, or even just a couple $100 profit a day. And you want to think, all right, so all of these people weren't doing that before. They weren't doing that before. These people weren't doing it before. So they had to become the version of themselves that is doing that. And obviously this course is the tool for that. Watch all the course, implement it as you go, take action, stay laser focused, never give up. When you face the challenges of not having success in that first niche, you could have easily, there's another timeline where you could have easily just been like, this doesn't work, this is a scam, I'm not going to continue. But the version of you that thinks negatively is not going to have success, where the version of you that was like, this is just a learning process. I'm excited. I've learned so much more. I'm going to take these and establish it in a next niche, and boom, you had immediate success straight away. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like that, diagram of, someone digging to gold and they're like that close to
Yeah,
gold,
yeah,
but then they
exactly.
turn
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
prospector who's got like he's dug like a mile and he's like 6 inches away from gold. But yeah, and kind of what you were saying reminds me of a quote that I read somewhere, but it just basically said, imagine the man or the woman that you admire and release that person into the world. You're under no obligation today to be the same version of yourself today that you were yesterday. So, every day is new. You can wake up and make a decision and just say, I'm going to become a different person, a person who believes in him or herself. I'm going to become the kind of person who says that I win some and I learn some. I'm not losing, I'm learning, right? I mean, we get an incredible amount of data very quickly. With this method in particular, the key is just to continue believing in yourself, can just continue trusting the process, and continue taking that massive action, and you will find success.
I think that's massively valuable. And
Right.
what would you say the next, looking ahead, what are the next, milestones or objectives and goals that, you've set for yourself, you've set for your family, you've set for your affiliate marketing business?
Yeah, good question. So yeah, I mean, I think my goal has always been $1 million a month. That particular goal is something that I have for myself. That milestone is something that I'll be reaching back out to you and letting you know when I hit that one. But that's something that I want to I want to hit that by the end of by the end of this year.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And what you said there is also massive as well. Because like when you set your goals, tell yourself that it's like inevitable. That's what I do. Like it's inevitable.
Hmm.
As long as you just keep persisting at it,
Yeah.
you're gonna succeed. Even if you
Yeah.
don't hit it, straight away, even if it takes some time, just don't give up. And I think
Yeah.
that's massive. Awesome, Corey. Well, I think that we've added a lot of value to a lot of people's lives here.
I hope
And
so. Good,
yeah, I
man.
think it's very inspiring. It's awesome to talk to someone like yourself and hear your journey, hear your success. And
I appreciate you,
um,
Chris.
yeah, I hope a lot of people take this and take action on it and take action on a lot of the stuff that we said, and then they too can become a success story. They too can share their story and their journey about how they've achieved and overcome their challenges.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. All right,
All right,
Chris.
well, I appreciate you, man, and we'll see you guys on the next interview.
Likewise. See you guys.